Hello and welcome back to
Bunso Bites.
I'm your host, Ami43.
And I'm your co-host, Chiggy.
Hi, Chiggy.
Hi, Ami.
I've had such a fun weekend / week / just a wonderful experience.
And why is that?
Because I finally saw Wicked for Good. As you can see, I am a Glinda. I do have an Elphaba, which I love, and she and I saw the early screening. We got our tickets through Amazon Prime, and we saw an early screening of Wicked for Good, and it was glorious. I laughed, I cried, it was everything that I wanted it to be, in a sense of it. Obviously, it's part 2 / it closes out the story that the first movie set up. But also, it was just such a wonderful presentation of this story in this medium and they did right by it, as in they didn't cut any, they didn't make any shortcuts, they didn't whatever. They really tried to represent the story in the fullest way possible. No expense spared type of thing. I mean, down to the 9 million tulips that they planted, to the attention to detail in the costumes and the designs of how, not just how their clothes are in a movie sense, but how it reflects each individual character and the character arcs of the character and how all that changes and morphs, and it was ridiculous. Huge fan of Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande for their portrayals of Galinda and Elphaba, and it was such a great experience. Being able to see it early was it was great and wonderful, and I got to watch it with a bunch of other theater nerds and geeks who were equally as laughing and crying with us in that showing. So it was very, very nice. My friend and I dressed up as Elphaba and Galinda per my wonderful, beautiful crown, and yeah, it was a lovely and amazing experience. I'm so excited. I love this. I love that they finally made it into a movie, and they did it in such a nice and wonderful way, and I want to keep rewatching it. I want to, it's so good that you want to, the amount of Easter eggs you want to look for, and the details and the analysis and whatever. I literally, when we were walking out of the movie theater, was telling my friend, I was like, I just want to write a whole dissertation on the costumes alone. Just the amount of detail. What's his name? Something Tompkins, I think. Wonderful, wonderful designer. He did, he's done Broadway, but he also has done there's a spin-off version of, Wicked, another version, and he did the costumes for that, and then he also was able to work with and collaborate with the original costume design. There all of these things, and just the way it all ties together, the Easter eggs in it, the amount of attention to detail and preparation, and even down to the specific choices of material used. Again, I could regurgitate all of this. It's so wonderful. It tickles my brain, and I had such a wonderful time watching it. It was great.
Nice.
Chiggy is not as much of a theater geek as I am.
Not at all.
I had to make him watch it. The first time he watched it was when we were this is the first movie. We were with my family on a family trip. Yep. And the kids really liked Defying Gravity, of course. Our wonderful little niece was singing her little lungs out, trying to Elphaba her way, to Defying Gravity. And I mean, to the point that she was standing on the do you remember that? She was standing on the little mantle, as is her right, as is her stage, and she killed it. That was the first time you watched it, but I think the first time you really watched it was when we were just working from home, and we just kind of had it playing, and so you can actually watch it. Because when we were watching it at the house, we were just really watching it with the kids and or for the kids. So, did you like the first movie? You haven't seen the second, but did you like the first one? What?
What?
Why didn't you like it?
I don't like those singing type movies. Musicals. There you go. I don't like them at all.
Because
who in their right mind just busts out in a song in regular life?
Me.
No.
I do though.
No, you don't.
I'm singing all the time. What are you talking about?
Nope.
Now, I don't necessarily sing about my life, but I'll stop in the middle of whatever I'm doing just to belt out a song. Absolutely.
Like, I think the only musical I've enjoyed was Newsies.
Newsies is a good one. There's no that's a classic one. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't really like musicals.
Well, okay, but okay? Yeah, okay, that's fair. We can all have that assessment. I grew up doing musical theater and all that. Well, just performing in general. I mean, I went to an art school. Let's be real. So it wasn't like that was so far out of the realm for me. And I do have a flair for the dramatics, to say the least. So back to regularly scheduled programming. Just wanted to have that little Glinda moment just for me. But what do you want to talk about today for today's episode, Shiggy?
Oh, so today's episode, I just wanted to see what your thoughts were on the entire Emiru and MIzkhif drama.
Yes, we have been talking about this in like the zeitgeist of all this last, it's been 2 or 3 weeks now? Yeah.
I've only watched Asmongold talk about it.
Okay.
As well as Emiru's side. And then I think there was one other video that I watched. Maybe it's a legal mindset video on the entire lawsuit behind it as well.
Yeah. It has turned into a full-on lawsuit at this point.
Yes. So a little background. If you don't know what's going on, Emiru and MIzkhif, they're both online streamers and or content creators. They secretly dated for, I don't know, 2-3 years.
Sure.
And like the thing about it was that they moved into a house together because they were under the same, I guess,
like
brand.
Content house, yeah. Or there was a company, yeah.
So they were all under OTK. And when they were dating, they had a thing where when one would stream, the other couldn't.
Okay.
So if MIzkhif was streaming, Emiru couldn't stream at the same time.
Sure.
And vice versa. And I don't know, like that to me kind of sounds like a red flag as it is, but we'll touch on that later.
Sure.
So they dated. You could see like the cracks in their relationship, through streams and all that. And then after they broke up, Emiru came up on a stream, and she wanted to come out on all of the things that happened to her between her and MIzkhif.
Okay.
And so she tried to, I don't know, I guess it's like a forewarning. Like, she was going to come out with all of the allegations against MIzkhif. And she said something like, I know that if I come out and say this, that MIzkhif is going to do such and such.
Okay.
And so she came out and already said it, that MIzkhif was going to blame her for the neglect that she had against her bunnies, so her pets.
Yeah.
And more specifically, he wanted to say that Emiru actually killed her pets.
Okay.
Based on the neglect that she was giving to her bunnies, but whatever. But the biggest allegation that she wanted to come out against MIzkhif is the sexual assault. And so that's the biggest thing in the debate between the two.
Yes.
And so Emiru came out on the stream. She said all the things that she had to say. And after that, there were like other streamers, especially Asmongold, who would come out and defend the things that she was claiming.
Yeah.
And of course, Asmongold, I think he did tastefully, because he said, I wasn't going to speak on it unless Emiru did first.
Okay, yeah.
And so it was her story, so he wasn't going to go out there and tell her story out to the world.
For her. Yeah.
For her. So since she did come out and said it, he backed her up. which I think is the right thing to do. But the thing is that throughout this entirety, like, people have come to Emiru's side to defend her,
Sure.
but no one has come to MIzkhif's side to defend him.
Right.
And so, I guess that's the basic gist of it.
Yeah.
So, of the things that I've said, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, I also wanted to, and I don't know everything, but just to add a little bit more context, Asmongold and MIzkhif were kind of co-creators of this OTK,
Correct.
right?
They are the creators of OTK.
So, which is the company that they were all kind of in as, I mean, I'm thinking like the equivalent of this would be like 2020 content houses back in, you know, that type of situation. But essentially, you know, they were a group of creators that wanted to band together and create something bigger than just themselves. And MIzkhif and Asmongold were integral in creating OTK. Emiru, if I'm not mistaken, came later, but she was a big part of it because she did have a strong following. And this is one of those things that I think is a key element to this, because you were mentioning how the rule was they can't stream at the same time or whatever. Because there's a lot of these weird undercurrents about how Emiru is just significantly more popular, or she just has more views and more, you know, subs, or like however you want to count it. Like clicks and views, they're all numbers on the internet, but you know, at the end of the day, that's what drives numbers, as in money, because you need those clicks and views for the ad dollars. Excuse me. So all of that to say, what are my initial thoughts on it? I think that first of all, it's unfortunate that I feel like a lot of female streamers in general kind of have to deal with a lot of flack for being female, just in general, whether that's, oh, you know, here's this girl playing this game that's traditionally dominated in, you know, it's a male dominated genre, whether that's something like as basic as like a COD or what's that other one that I'm having a brain fart, you know, the battle royale video games, or if it's something as like, you know, you know, old school as like old retro like Mario games or whatever. Anytime a female enters the space and dominates in their own way, whether that's because they're good or because they're a good streamer or they're a good entertainer or whatever, there's always some weird thing about like, well, she's just a girl, or well, she's just a whatever. And I know in addition to everything that was kind of happening with MIzkhif and the OTK stuff or whatever, Emiru has had to deal with a lot of that, because in addition to her being a content creator / streamer, she's a cosplayer, and she's I mean, arguably speaking, she's a very beautiful girl who looks beautiful a lot of the time on screen. Like, she knows how to look good on camera. And so there's this kind of weird, and again, these are just my initial thoughts. Like, there was this weird power struggle from the beginning with her and MIzkhif, because she's the one generating the numbers and the whatever, but then here's MIzkhif, who is her boyfriend at the time, but also was like the co-creator of this company that she's a part of, you know, for streaming and for, you know, for partners or like whatever it is in their world. And it's like, yes, he quote unquote has the, I guess to like equate it, it's like he's kind of like the CEO and she's an employee, but she's outperforming even what he's doing. And so there's that weird power struggle of just like, you know, guy versus girl. And some guys cannot handle that. And it seemed like as Emiru continued to gain popularity and be successful, the cracks in MIzkhif's ego and pride were showing more and more and more.
Right.
Now, concerning the essay allegations and all that stuff, that's as someone who has had to deal with a situation like that, I feel for Emiru, because it is never a fun place to be. You genuinely feel like you're in a prison, and it's the worst feeling in the world. I would never wish that even on my worst enemies. Because it's like, it's this person that you love, but they're hurting you physically, mentally, emotionally, for whatever reason. And in this case, and again, this is all kind of like hearsay, because we're just kind of watching. Here's what Emiru said. Here's what Asmongold said. Here's what MIzkhif said. Here are reactions to what they've said. So we don't really know, in a sense, but based on everyone's story, or the story that's being told, it very much feels like MIzkhif just couldn't handle Emiru's success in that sense. And like I said, the cracks were showing. Whether it was he was getting violent, or he was, yelling at her, or whatever it was. And again, these are horrible, horrible things. I would never, ever want anyone to go through this. And when I heard about what was happening to Emiru, it genuinely broke my heart, because she also had to undergo the whole Twitch situation earlier this year, or just a couple months ago. Like, it feels like it was all stacked in the last couple months for Emiru. And I want to be very clear. I'm not like this advent or this ardent follower of Emiru. I know about her in the zeitgeist of, I know streamers. She happens to be a girl streamer who also is of Asian descent, and I tend to follow, personalities of Asian descent. So like I've seen her in, like, as she like co-streams with other streamers, or I've seen her in like different videos or like content and stuff like that. But I wasn't necessarily directly following her. I just knew about her. And, it's a, as I was saying earlier, being a female in the streamer space, or just the internet in general, it's not always easy. It really isn't. Because a lot of people really, really, really want to tear you down. And it's really, really easy to tear. It's really easy to put down a girl and disguise it as, oh, well, that's just constructive criticism. In actuality, it's like, no, you're just cyberbullying. Like, get your head out of your knees or whatever. You're actually just cyberbullying someone because you have nothing better to do with your life. And I know for a fact that Emiru has had to deal with a lot of that. So it's unfortunate that in a way, it's almost like climaxed to this point, because it's like, again, no one deserves that at all. What aspects, because you said you watched kind of the Asmongold's side of the story, what aspects did he kind of offer to the story in a sense of like, because you were saying he was supporting Emiru?
So basically he was there for all the things that happened to her, because they're in the same company, OTK,
Right.
They are co-streamers. They do sometimes collaborate with each other.
Right.
So not only does he like watches her stream and sees what's going on. I mean, they do, or they should be, at least I think in my mind, they do converse with each other off stream as well.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I would believe that, there are times where Emiru may have, gone to Asmongold or any of the other OTK members and talked about
like
the
to confide
situation.
in them almost.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
But the stream that I watched from him is basically Emiru's video of her coming out of everything, and him putting his 2 cents in of whatever she was saying.
Right.
And so there's a lot of truth to what he's talking about. And even just what Emiru was saying, because she has some evidence of like text messages and all that, that it gives her more of a fighting chance because she has that backup.
Yeah.
Whereas the video that MIzkhif came out, he was reading a script from
These are all like stream clips, right?
Huh?
These are all stream clips.
No, these were actual videos. The actual video.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
And so MIzkhif was, he had a script that he was reading for his video.
Sure.
And, everyone was just flaming him for reading a Chat GPT script.
Which is wild, but yeah.
Yes. Because like, Chat GPT is notorious for adding things that are redundant.
Yeah.
So like
It says the same thing but twice, but it's the same but twice.
Correct. Yeah. Which he does like state that in one of his statements. I'm just like, was that necessary? No, but you're reading from a script.
Right. Which there's nothing wrong from reading from a script, especially when it comes to delicate matters like this. I feel like yes, you should. Even Emiru, she had her papers in front of her and she was reading point by point, but Emiru prepared her statement. MIzkhif was like,
whereas he was reading word for word.
Yeah.
So he was reading verbatim, literally. But the thing with MIzkhif was that even though he had his statement written out and he was reading it, he had no evidence.
Yeah.
The only thing he showed was a picture of the bunny's bedding, which, you know, may or may not have been the right way of showing it, because a lot of people are speculating that it was at the end of when she moved out of the house and she left the bedding there for it to be thrown out.
Right, yeah.
And so there was no need for her to clean it because they're going to throw it out anyways. So that kind of looks bad on him because he was trying to make it seem as if that was the current state of when the bunnies were there and they were dying.
Yeah.
And that was his quote unquote neglect that he was trying to frame on her. So, and then he had like this weird demo of him throwing hhis phone on the bed. So
I didn't see this part.
In one of Emiru's statements, like he threw his phone and it hit her in the eye. That's what she said.
Okay.
And the way MIzkhif explained it is that he would brush his teeth and he would throw his phone from outside of his room to his bed. And in one of those instances, it flew up and just hit her in the eye.
Sure.
And, you know, even if you were to do that and be so careless to just throw something next to your significant other,
right?
Why would you do that in the first place?
Yeah.
Like, that's just...
Like, if you know they're already lying down for bed, like, why would you... That would be like you were already sleeping and, I don't know, I threw something at you. Like, that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense that you would do that. And then at the same time, you don't have any regard that phone may hit her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. To me, that's just a red flag for me, just because, like, you're not thinking of your significant other in that sense. Just like, if you guys really are dating, why would you do something like that to, you know, even though if it's something that you have a habit of doing, if you know your significant other is there in that area where you're going to throw your phone anyways, why would you do it if they're there? Yeah. So
the thoughts aren't thinking.
Right.
That was a weird one to say, but yeah.
But yeah. There's other things too that it doesn't add up when MIzkhif says it.
Yeah.
So like back before Emiru and MIzkhif dated, he was dating Maya Higa,
another girl,
girl, and in one of their streams, they were talking about view count.
Okay.
And Maya was saying, MIzkhif was saying, you had 7,000 viewers at such and such time. And then Maya retorted back to him and said, I had 14,000 viewers earlier. And then he was like, ouch, like, I didn't need to hear that.
For why? Like, what?
Exactly. So just her having more viewership than what he had originally thought
was enough to hurt his pride.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and they talk about it on stream too. And he was like, yes, I do get mad at, at these types of situations where I brought this person in and now they're doing better than me.
Which is such a sad state.
He actually admits that.
Yeah.
And so in that clip, he says, I used to get mad at that, which means it's a prior behavior,
Yeah.
which means it can happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it shows a prior behavior to him acting like that, where his pride is hurt when someone does better than him.
If someone is succeeding and he's not,
Correct,
essentially. Yeah. Which is a sad way to live.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because that's just like, be happy. Not even X out the significant other part of it. Like, even as friends, before we were dating, well, we started dating pretty early on, but like we were committed to cheering for each other in our individual successes. And that was something that I still cherish to this day, because it's like we are committed to helping each other out so that we can succeed as individuals,
All
which
right.
to me contributes to and is beyond us as a couple. Because then it's like, obviously if there's more, then we can contribute more. Like if there's more to add to the pot, then there's more. Why would I ever put you down? Why would I ever make you feel less than for your success? Like, that counterintuitive. And again, it comes back to MIzkhif has the inability, or it seems like, allegedly, he has the inability, or he doesn't have the ability to actually like have compassion for others, or like in the sense of like he is so personally wounded that he can't see beyond that. He doesn't want anyone else's success because he wants his success so bad,
Right.
without realizing that it's actually other people's success that's what brings you up even more. Especially like if we're talking specifically to like the OTK part of it. It's like, that's your company. If she's doing well, if Asmongold is doing well, if anyone in your company is doing well, that reflects better on your company, which then will reflect better on you as a, creator and streamer of said company. People will come to you. Like, it all flows and comes together if you lift each other up. But if you punish someone for their success, it's like, what, like, again, that's on him and his big ego.
Yeah. So after all that, like there's a clip of when Emiru and MIzkhif finally streamed at the same time.
Oh, okay.
And it was for a certain event of a game, and they were playing together. And at some point, Emiru's viewership surpassed MIzkhif's. And when he finally, when he finally noticed, he made up some lame excuse, saying that he's too tired right now, he's gonna go to bed, and he stopped streaming. And while Emiru was still streaming, he was like banging on her door.
Like in her stream, you mean? Like,
yeah.
or in her room?
Yeah. So while she's streaming, her door's locked, and he's like banging on the door while she's streaming.
Jeez.
And there's some weird stuff that he was saying, like, oh, I'm gonna KMS because you guys just keep taking from me, blah blah blah. Like,
yeah,
brother, you have such a little ego.
No, he has a big ego, and like it's unwarranted. Like, he thinks so much more highly of himself, but it's not actually what he is or what he is worth. And he can't reconcile that idea.
Yeah.
Like, he can't humble himself to a point where he realizes that other people just have better numbers than him, which is such a silly thing, because in the internet, there's always someone bigger and better than you. I think unless you're Mr. Beast, I guess.
Right.
Everyone has better numbers. Like, the battle for views and clicks is just never ending, you know?
Right.
So it's like, you can't base your worth on, I have lesser numbers. It's like, well, you contribute something completely different than what she contributes, and vice versa. And if she's successful right now, again, the idea is she's part of your company. That revenue comes into your company. It will be reused within your company to help grow you as a creator.
Yeah.
But he can't even see that, which is really, really sad.
Yeah. And even at his level, like his level of streaming, like he averages like 15,000.
Yeah.
15,000.
Yeah, like
Brother.
it's not like he's like some like weird indie guy on the side with like 200 views. No,
Yeah.
he's an independent, or he can independently thrive on, streaming platforms. And that's great. That's awesome. But again, it's the internet. There will always, always, always be people who have more views than you.
Mm-hmm.
Period. That's just how the internet works.
It reminds me of like of like me gaming.
Yeah.
So like there was this thing where like say you're playing a first person shooter.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm playing Halo. There's always going to be someone out there better than you.
Yeah.
And that person that's better than you is always going to be Asian. So either like a Korean or a Chinese person. There's always going to be that one person.
Yeah.
So like that's the way I think about it. Like I never think that I'm always number one.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Because there's always someone out there better than me.
There is.
I may get the number one in the game at that moment, but the next game I might get last place. So.
But that's kind of, isn't that the whole point of gaming and competition? You're always striving to be better and to do better. And by getting challenged, then it challenges you even more, which makes you grow even more. And this is not even talking like in a streaming sense, genuinely for gaming. When you were talking, it reminded me, there was one time where I think you were just kind of streaming like just your POV while you were playing a game. It wasn't like you were trying to stream for like as a streamer. You were just trying to clip farm essentially. And I remember that at one point, I think there was a channel who rated you, but they were intentionally like they were looking for matches to like raid. It was like top 10 match, like they have, you're in the top 10 of a battle royale of some whatever. And I remember the way your whole being changed, because I was physically with you when this was happening. And it went from, oh, you're playing this game and you made it to top 10. Great, awesome. You're like, oh, let's go. Like, you were locked in. And then all of a sudden, your stream count went from like 1 to 2 viewers to like 250 or 300 people just like flooding in. Chat was blowing up and you were just like, there was a moment where you were like, what is happening? And then when you realized that 300 plus people were watching you, the way you like hyper fixated and locked into a point of just like I couldn't say anything to you in this moment because you were just in. And I was like, oh, and that's kind of, again, that speaks and that talks to the, when you're gaming and you're, the whole point is like, you're trying to be the best. You're trying to top the next thing. And I remember like, you had pulled like a very particularly risky play in this because like you essentially like dropped higher ground so that you could get better advantage of the future circle, like something crazy, which is something that you would never do in your normal gameplay, as in like you normally would play on the safer side or whatever, but you knew in that moment that you had to do high risk, high reward because these 300 people, like nothing compared to like the people that we're talking about, just like the 300 randos who were just following this guy like going across different streamers. And when you got it was Warzone, wasn't it? Or was it, okay. I was like, it wasn't Battle Royale. I don't know why I'm saying that, but it was Warzone. And when you got advantage in this very risky, because I think you didn't even have a gas mask. Like it was like, again, all these like things that you did the thing that you weren't supposed to do. But because you did the thing that you weren't supposed to do, and because you were so locked in, and because you pushed yourself as a gamer in that moment, you ended up getting Warzone. And it was like chat popped up. I remember like I have not seen our chat ever like the emotes going like crazy. Yeah. And I remember in that moment thinking, I was like, that's what streaming and gaming is. Like in that moment, that is the quintessential feeling of streaming and gaming. It's that moment of, we are all here watching and waiting and anticipating and really, really hoping that you do your best, like for all intents and purposes. Obviously there's haters, whatever, but I'm just saying like those 300 people were they were all pinning for you. Please get Warzone, please get Warzone. Like you're going to get it, you're going to get it, you're going to get it. And you were so locked in to get, like you were just like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this risky thing and I'm going to do it so I can have advantage and I'm going to lock in. And you did, and you won. And it was such a great like triumph. And it's like, that's what you should aim for, not oh, so and so has 2,000 more viewers than me, or oh, you know, like it's like, because if you're chasing, like, one is more, as this is gonna sound so cheesy, but like one is more, this is the community, like, you know, you in that moment winning and those 300 people being like, oh my gosh, you did it, yeah, that's what you should be chasing, and not, oh, I see that I have 13,000 today and then yesterday I had 15,000, what am I doing wrong? Because then you're just like, you're chasing emptiness rather than chasing fulfillment. And in the gaming world and in streaming world and all that stuff, why would you waste your time trying to chase something that's empty? Yes, the numbers are there. Yes, they're valuable. Yes, that's what quote unquote drives the money. Sure. But that all will come as if you genuinely do things that you love and you have a community that supports you. And like, the way I see it is just like they build from each other. But if you're really just hyper focused on like the numbers and the empty side of it, it's like you're not fulfilled as a streamer, because you're always going to be chasing. There's always going to be someone better than you. So what are you actually fighting for? To beat everyone? And then when you beat everyone, then you're just like, okay, then what? What did you actually build? Rather than, you know, building and working towards something, being your authentic self, playing the games that you love to play, succeeding in that, overcoming challenges, doing, you know, all those things with your community and building within that. That is so much more meaningful and so much more fulfilling as a streamer, as a content creator, whatever you want to call it, in the world of internet. And it's really, really sad when you see the people who fall in one category rather than the other. And I think in the case of Emiru and MIzkhif, or just MIzkhif in general, let's just take out Emiru for this sake, but with MIzkhif, it's like, it's so abundantly clear that he's striving for things that shouldn't be his focus. He should be focusing on himself and his content and his company, and building that, rather than trying to tear other people down because you want to be the best. It's like, that's not how you make it to the top. That's never how you make it to the top. And if you make it to the top that way, you best believe you will be the first to fall, and you will fall very, very hard.
Yep. So, the last point is probably the main point. The whole allegation on the essay.
Yeah.
So, Emiru stated in her video, MIzkhif had came over to her house, and I guess Emiru was crying over whatever,
right?
And she was trying to confide in him, and he was trying to console her, and for whatever reason, she let him touch her in other spots.
Sure.
And then he thought it was fine to go ahead and kiss her, and then shove his hand down her pants. And so she screamed, and he jumped off, and without ever saying, are you all right, I'm sorry, or anything, he just said, I think I did something wrong, I gotta go. And so that big part was also confirmed on MIzkhif's side.
Yeah.
So on his video, he admitted that he did that.
To doing that, yeah.
Which doesn't really make any of his
it doesn't make his case. Yeah,
it doesn't look good for him at all. And whatever he's trying to do to counter that doesn't make it look good either.
Right.
Because you've already admitted to it, and now you're trying to countersue for defamation. So, it doesn't look good on him. What Legal Mindset said in his video, there's basically no chance of MIzkhif winning his defamation case. Probably a less than 1% chance. But Emiru has almost a 99% chance of winning.
Yeah.
So if he does go through with his lawsuits against Emiru, Asmongold, OTK, and Mystic, he's going to lose every single one of them.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, wasn't it also like a point of contest of like where it was going to be, whether it was Texas or California?
Right. Because one state is easier to win in than the other.
Right. Did they determine where it was going to be?
I don't think we've seen a video yet on where it's going to be tried in. It would be easier for them to try it in Emiru's state.
Okay.
Because it's easier to win there.
Yeah.
I think it's California.
Yeah. And this was something that I think that I said to you early on in our conversations about this as it came up, was there's a lot of, in these videos and in these clips or whatever summaries that we're watching, there's a lot of clear and concise preparation on Emiru's side, in a sense of, she created a statement, she like talked to legal, she dotted her I's and crossed her T's essentially. And she did so in a way that, although this was an emotionally taxing experience for her, she knew that she had grounds to fight with, essentially. And I think she did her homework very intentionally so that it, there wasn't a smoke screen. Like, she's like, this is what happened. Here's screenshots of this. Here's my case of this. Here's witness this. Here's support from, this, and then, as you said, Asmongold, other people coming forward being, and supporting her story, being like, yes, it was like that, or yes, this person did that, whatever it was. So it's like, it's all very clear on Emiru's side. And one of the things that from the very beginning, from his reaction video to his, chat GPT situation, all that stuff, it is so clear that MIzkhif's version of this, or whatever tale he's trying to spin, or like his side of the story, it's so messily and shoddily prepared.
Yes.
Because his whole thing is like, oh, wait, you guys, wait until I have proof of this, and I'm going to show you guys this, and she has, she doesn't know what she's talking about, and this, and this. And then we're all kind of just like, all right, where's the proof?
Right.
Nothing. I mean, at least Emiru had screenshots. Like, it's like, and he had nothing. Oh yeah, he had the picture of the bunnies or whatever. Yeah. But even then, it's like there was a counter argument to that. So it's like he couldn't even stand on his own, his own quote unquote allegations about these bunnies or whatever. And it's like it's crazy to me how, again, it's kind of just this thing of like he's just trying to say all of the buzzwords, like, oh, I'm going to countersue. Oh, I'm defamate. They're talking bad about me. Oh, I'm the victim here. I'm the this is that and the other. And it's all smokescreen. There's not, like, I have yet to see anything that like seems relatively solid. Maybe outside. I mean, if we want to argue the bunnies point, I don't know the specifics to that because I wasn't paying too much attention to that. But even then, it was like, even that picture was like not even a full, okay, sorry, homegirl forgot to change the litter box. Like, how many pet owners forget to change their litter box? That's not and I'm not saying that's an excuse, but I'm just like, in comparison to like the allegations that Emiru has against him, it's like those are paltry. Those are nothing. Yeah.
It seems like the size of Emiru's allegation of the essay is so big compared to the little stuff that MIzkhif is trying to throw at Emiru. Yep. Like, oh, yes, I essayed you, but you neglected your buddies.
Yes, but yeah, and it's like, you literally said yes. You've admission of guilt. Period. Proof of admission of guilt, because it's on the internet. And not only is it on the internet that you posted, people have clipped and reclipped it. So even if you try to delete it, it's still there. So, again, on a personal level, I feel so sad for Emiru because she's gone through a lot, and I know how difficult of a situation that is, or that can be. But I'm glad that she has the strength within herself, and she has a support system around her that allows her to gather her thoughts, gather the evidence in a way that is appropriate and concise and can be legally brought in front of a court in a proper and appropriate way. Vice homeboy over here, he's a mess.
Yep.
He's clearly a mess, and good riddance to him. Like, you know, I hope he gets whatever he deserves, because it's like he just keeps stumbling that it's like, I can't even try to defend you anymore.
Right.
As people who are completely not even third, I would say fifth party to all of this. We don't know these people. We don't know. This is all just internet world. You know, it's like, I can't even try to be like, he made a mistake. No, he messed up, and he messed up bad, to the point that people whom he trusted and worked with and encountered on a regular basis lost their trust in him, lost their faith in him. You know, they don't want to be associated with him. So it's like, who does that speak more about than anything else? But yeah. You got any final thoughts, sir?
Yeah. So we just want to reiterate that we don't follow either of these streamers like on a first-hand basis.
Yeah.
We're not subscribed to them. We don't catch any of their lives.
We just stumbled across it because the internet was being the internet.
Yes. So I basically found out about this because Asmongold spoke about it. Because I do follow Asmongold. But as people that don't follow this type of media,
don't follow them specifically.
And we're just on the outside looking in. What I want to wrap up as my final thought is, as in Emiru's case, she is still a fairly young streamer. She still has many years ahead of her for her career. What I would say to Emiru would be, focus on being a streamer. Live out your best years as being a streamer, because when that comes to a halt, you need to fall back on something else, and that would be the time when you should be looking for your significant other.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Like, your time now, or the time that you've wasted on that relationship with MIzkhif, that's kind of like high school stuff. Like, I want to be with this person because they're always around. It's convenient. Like, that's not the reasons why you should get into a relationship.
Yeah.
Because really, in all the clips that I've seen, like, I don't ever see them like together, or like,
albeit they admitted it was a private relationship.
Yeah.
But you know, we're on the fringe, so we don't know.
Right. But it kind of seemed like, even like they did keep it a secret to their friends and other members in OTK, but you know, if none of their friends even saw the good in the relationship, why would you continue to be in it?
Yeah, that's true.
So if all they saw were just bad things, if they just saw the fighting, the arguing,
that's kind of your red flag, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, why would you stay in that relationship for so long?
Right.
But hey, you go through your experiences, you learn from them, you move on. For MIzkhif, brother, grow up, man.
Yeah.
You're 30 plus years old, and you're still acting like that, like you're a high school kid.
Yeah. He
need some help.
He needs help, and gotta grow up, man. It's not how the real world works.
Yeah. Like, if you can't gracefully take an L in something, you shouldn't be doing what you do.
Yeah.
'Cause like, I remember even when I was a kid, I thought I was like the biggest thing in the world, because I was like, oh, I know math. And like, there was one time where, you know, one of my friends, like, they beat me to an answer, and I cried, and I was like, why should I be crying?
What?
He got to the answer quicker than me, and I cried about it because
You were
in
supposed
that
to be
moment he was
faster.
smarter than me,
Yeah.
and I had to have a big reflection in myself to be
Right.
like, why did I have to act that way?
Mm-hmm.
I should have congratulated him,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So like, if you can't even do that to your significant other, brother, you don't need to be in a relationship.
Let alone any of your friends or
Yeah.
yeah. You need to you got to dig in yourself and deal with that.
Yeah. So you need to work on yourself before you go back to being a streamer and or a boyfriend, a significant other,
Yeah.
because you're just going to wreck all of your future relationships if you continue down this path.
Mhm.
So yeah. What's your final thoughts on this?
I mean, I agree with you. I think outside of the, if I were to give any type of advice, yeah, definitely lay low in a sense, like, focus on yourself, like you were saying, and try not to hop into a relationship right now, just because I think there's a lot of healing that needs to be done for both of them, and as someone who is an empath and as someone who likes to strive to have compassion for others, I really do wish that both of them individually can heal from the things that they're dealing with. Again, I feel really, really bad for all the things that Emiru has had to go through this year, including all of this essay stuff. And again, I would never wish that on my worst enemy. But on the same, or on the other half of the coin, I agree with you where it's like, MIzkhif needs help. He needs to, whether that's he needs to sit down with himself, sit down with a therapist, but just really have a good amount of reflection on himself, on his actions, on his behavior. Where is this all stemming from? How can he augment and deal with it so that he is not hurting others, let alone hurting himself in the process, because he's hurting others and he's ruining his own reputation and all these things. So I hope he gets rightfully punished. If, again, all these are allegations, so we don't know, but if all of it comes to light that it was true, and it is true, I hope he does get rightfully punished per, whatever, California, Texas, whichever state they're having it in. But also I hope in that it's a humbling experience for him, so he can learn, because I don't want his life to be ruined, but take it down a peg, keep your head down, focus on what's really, really important, focus on yourself, focus on building yourself back up to a place where you are capable and confident in your abilities and in the things that you want to do, whether that's on the internet or not. And, I hope for the best for both of them, and I hope that whatever legal proceedings do occur, it occurs in a way that is, long term will kind of wrap up nicely, if that makes sense.
Well said.
But yeah, let us know in the comments down below, have you been following and or hearing about the MIzkhif Emiru situation? What are your thoughts on it? Do you take a side? Do you agree or disagree with the opinions that Shiggy and I have expressed today? Let us know. If you like this episode, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.